Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this isn't the gameplay I had planned on using originally for this video. I had some really beastly gameplay against great players, and I was like, sweet, I'm going to use this, I'm going to impress everybody. And then when I checked it out, it played back literally at like 1 frame every 5 seconds. And I was like, this is just unacceptable, I can't have it on my channel. So this is what you get instead. It's pretty good gameplay and kill confirmed, everything's cool. Anyway, this video is about weapon balance. So for those that don't know, in a perfect shooter, every weapon is the ideal weapon for a given situation, right? If you go, one of the frustrations that people had with Black Ops, and I think it was a little overblown, was that the FAMAS was the best weapon for almost every situation, and it wasn't, right? You know, the truth is that, you know, the SMGs were better than the FAMAS right up close, but the other part of the truth is that the FAMAS was competitive in situations where typically, you know, the assault rifles are at a disadvantage. The way that it's supposed to work is the snipers are the dominant weapon at really long distance. In mid distance, or, you know, kind of a jack of all trades, the assault rifles and the submachine guns work there, right? The submachine guns are a little better if you're in the same room. The assault rifles are a little better if you're across the way. But by and large, those are your all-purpose weapons. And then right up close, you've got the shotguns. The shotguns are supposed to be unbeatable if you find yourself in the unfortunate situation of being in the same room. But then they all have downsides. Snipers are supposed to suck if you find yourself up too close. Shotguns obviously do suck if you find yourself too far away. You're virtually unarmed. SMGs, like I said, you know, same room, they're pretty strong. Across the way, a little weakish. That's how weapon balance is supposed to work. And you'll notice I didn't mention the LMGs. I don't know what to say. Like, in my hands, the LMGs suck in every situation. It's just always the way that it goes. Like, maybe you beast with an LMG. I don't know. But for me, the movement the disadvantage is too strong, and that alone just makes it a game that I don't like playing. And I don't use the LMGs all that much. But those are how the other weapons are balanced. In Call of Duty 4, you know, people look back on it with those nostalgic eyes, and it's viewed as, you know, the pinnacle of weapon balance in the Call of Duty series. But now weapon balance in Modern Warfare 2, oh my gosh, you guys have heard me rant before. But the problem with that was that the noob tubes were ideal. The noob tubes were so strong that, you know, that to me it almost overpowered everything else in the game. If you really wanted to rock it, then you use those. This game, I like the weapon balance. It's early, right? You know, we're going to see how things change over time. But by and large, I think that they got the weapon balance in this game really well. Now, a lot of people are going to say, no, like the Type 95 is OP. Yeah, maybe kind of, right? Like, the Type 95 is pretty good at a distance, and it's shockingly good up close. You know, usually with these burst fire weapons, if you find yourself in the same room, you're in a lot of trouble. Having said that, if you give me like an MP7 or a PP90 or a P90, and I'm in the same room as you and your Type 95, I like my chances. You know, I can pre-fire and do things with those submachine guns that you can't do with your Type 95. You've got to get on target and then pull the trigger. Whereas, you know, that's a pretty slow way to kill someone in comparison to just running right through them with, you know, the pre-fire blazing. Uh-oh, Woody. People say the snipers are overpowered. And it kind of feels that way when you die, right? Like when you're playing interchange and some guy, you know, pulls up his sniper scope and kills you in a hurry, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so OP. The auto aim mechanic that happens on consoles, they're totally taking advantage of it, yada, yada, yada. But then go use one. Use one and you'll be like, wow, you know what? Yeah, it's OP when I die to it, but it's not that OP when I try to kill with it. And that is the experience that I find with a lot of these weapons. The shotgun, the striker in particular, right? People are using the striker all the time. And when you die to a striker, it's like, this sucks, right? Like, I didn't even have a chance to fight back with this striker. I don't like the way that played out. But when you try to use a striker, then things change a little bit. When you try to use a striker, all of a sudden, it doesn't feel so overpowered. You feel unarmed in half your engagements, and you're navigating the map super carefully, using every attempt to keep your engagements tight, to make sure that you're not dying, that you're not facing some Type 95 from across the way. Because if you do that, it's not going to work out the way you want it to. And what's happened is, like, I'm hearing that so many guns are OP that, to me, in my mind, it's going full circle, and I'm hearing that so many guns are balanced. So, you know, the Type 95, the P90, the PP90, the MP7, the Striker, a couple of the different sniper weapons, like the Barrett and the bolt action one. Somebody help me, I rarely snipe. Is it like the L4A, something like that? All of these have been called OP at one point or another. And there's more on that list too. You know, the ACR has been called OP. The M4 is an underappreciated assault rifle. That thing's actually pretty darn good. The The Scar, right? I think I saw the beastliest game so far posted on YouTube, and the guy was using a silent Scar. There are so many different weapons that you can use and still expect to be like a viable competitor. You're not really gimping yourself if you use a Scar. You're not really like trying to play this game with one arm behind your back if you're using an M4 or, you know, half the weapons in this game. Now, sure. Some of the weapons in this game, like I could pick some of the sniper rifles in particular. You know, is the Dragunov even in this game? That thing always is harder to use than the other sniper rifles. So, you know, but if you go all the way back to COD 4, the pinnacle of balance, the best one ever, then watch this, watch this. Here it comes. Where is he? Woohoo! If you go all the way back to COD 4, the pinnacle of balance in these games, then, you know, you'll see like the Scorpion is a great example. The shotguns are great examples. These things, it was pretty hard to get good games with them. The clip on the Scorpion was so small that, like, at least in my hands, it was pretty hard to get 2 kills, you know, without reloading. You know, really, can you name another gun where it's hard to kill even 2 people on a clip? You know, all the other ones, you know, you do pretty well. You know, you can get 2 and 3. You can kind of expect 2 and, you know, maybe get 3 or sometimes even 4 before a reload. With the Scorpion, you know, the equivalent of getting 4 would be to get 2 in a clip, right? It was like a rare event. You pretty much need to reload constantly. And that was the best balanced game ever in the COD series. You know, it was good. They did a good job with it. But I'm kind of liking Modern Warfare 3 so far. I'm liking that, you know, that the guns are balanced. I have a lot of choices. And one thing I'm doing different about Modern Warfare 3 that I didn't do in Black Ops is I kind of let like haters get to me and choose my weapons for me. So I'd say, all right, I really need to get like a Mac 11 gameplay. I really need to get a what was the one I ran a lot? It wasn't the Caparis. It was I forget. There was an SMG I ran a lot, and the Spectre I ran, and it was like I really need to get a Spectre gameplay. And I would start using the wrong guns for the map. Right? When this game came out, everyone talked about how small the maps were, and I don't think it's that the maps are small. I think it's that they play small. I think the way that they use the spawns and the way that they use the I don't know, just the all the like cover on this, it makes you get into a lot of up close fights. But anyway, I've started using appropriate weapons for the map. Like, this is a pretty good assault rifle map. Now you can play with other stuff on it, but in my hands I like the assault rifle, because when I use the other, like if I use an SMG, I feel like I find myself, you know, seeing targets at a further distance that I have a hard time, you know, winning a gunfight with, because, you know, they're not in, you know, at the ideal SMG range. When I play Dome, you know, I can use a striker or I can use an SMG. I've stopped saying, oh, well, you know, I want to use this gun regardless of map, and I've started saying, oh, this map is ideal for this gun, and play it that way. And I'm having a better time with it. You know, it's more fun for me. I used to do that prior to Black Ops, so I started doing that again, and it's been a really good idea. So, you know, when you see the map load up, think about your loadout and what kind of fight you're going to get into, and pick the gun that's going to work for that. So, yeah, to wrap up my thoughts, you know, from this thing, Modern Warfare 3 has done a much better job with gun balance than we've seen in a long time in these games, and I'm pretty psyched about it. People are saying it's wrong, but whatever. Now, a lot of guys are going to talk about lag compensation right here. They're going to say, yeah, they may be a bunch of good guns, and you have choices for every map, but lag compensation is absolutely terrible. And shucks, I can't even tell what the truth is. I really have no idea. Now, I know, like, I hear Onslaught say things that I said during Black Ops lots of times. Like, I put, you know, 12 bullets on that guy and I still lost the gunfight. That's not fair. I see him finish the games. I used to lead in assists all the time, and it was like, is my aim bad? You know, what's happening here? And I know Mike's aim isn't bad. So, you know, so for Mike, I know that he's really suffering under the way that they work the lag, is, you know, the lag compensation. But I have to wonder if, like, where the case is for other people, if they're just not used to having Host Pro and how they're adjusting to that. I'm not sure. It's so hard to tell. Like, I can't see. Are we seeing guys who don't have the advantage of incredible connections not like it anymore, or and there's a level playing field? Are we seeing them unfairly punished for their good connections? I can't be positive. But anyway, weapon balance. They did a good job in Modern Warfare 3. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. All right, now for two videos you may have missed. The top one, I go over all the secrets and Easter eggs across the maps on Modern Warfare 3. I thought it was a pretty good video, but it's set to some pretty bad music. I hope that you like it anyway, and check it out. The very last secret, by the way, is the coolest one. On the bottom one, it's Mail Monday. Always goes over well. There's a guy who's compulsively yanking it, and he wants to get some advice, but the truth is, get on my level. Anyway, a good video. One waxing body hair, and I reveal something about my wife in there. Lots of funny stuff. So if you enjoy my channel, subscribe in the top right, surprise video on the side, links to t-shirt, Facebook, and Twitter at the bottom, and have a nice day.